parts resource or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championships are coming to Fort Smith, March 6th through the 9th at Fort Smith Southside High School. See the best men's and women's teams in the GAC. Battle it out for an automatic bid into the NCAA Division II tournament. Get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference Tournament at GreatAmericanConference.com. It's the GAC Basketball Championships, March 6th through the 9th in Fort Smith at Southside High School.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds. Our high temperatures this afternoon into the lower 60s. Clear skies overnight, dropping down upper 30s to near 40. Tuesday, right back to sun, a high upper 60s to near 70, and we could see a few showers on Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits.
Here's Jones on a keeper, out over the 40, to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Donay's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning. Welcome in. I had to remind myself it's a Monday today. You're listening to Halftime. It's ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson here, along with Matt Jones and Kristen Johnston. And hey, guys, good to be with you after a great weekend of Arkansas athletics. I got to tell you, I'm so happy to be home. Matt Jones, I am so happy to be home. It has been, I think it's been 11 days since I was within my own walls. Now, I don't own the place. I've rented it for about 2.5 years now, but 2.5 years is long enough to make it feel like it's my own place. And it is so nice to be home after 11 days. I did not anticipate being gone as long as I was. The storm last week basically made sure that was going to be the case. If I was going to make it with women's basketball to South Carolina. I was not going to be driving home after last Monday's baseball game. So after a lengthy time and a great weekend of baseball, and I know we got basketball and baseball to hit on, I just want to tell you it is so nice to finally be home. And I don't even feel like I didn't even know what day it was today. Can you help me out with that?
Well, it's a great day to be here. I'm glad you're back home as well. You're right, Phil. The Hogs, man, they crushed it this weekend. What'd they go 2-3 in Arlington, and then much needed win for this basketball team. Christian and I talked about it a little bit. Hope number 3 is healthy. What's the latest with number 3?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there'll be a little info about it coming out from whomever it is that does the pregame presser for Wednesday's game, which is your next chance to go out and see if there's an ability to carry over a little bit of momentum. And we'll wait to hear a little bit about Gage Wood too, an injured Arkansas pitcher from yesterday's game. So, man, it is. We had a great crowd over the weekend. That was just a lot of fun in Arlington. Wasn't able to get my eyes on the basketball game because that took place in the lead up to. Well, I think baseball started an hour before basketball did Saturday, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. I followed a little bit on the box score, and when I see that they've got the lead and it's 6 minutes left, immediately I thought this is when you start to believe. But if you've been watching for the last month or so, this is when the Hogs have faded against good basketball teams. But they didn't fade this time. Didn't fade at all. I don't exactly know what happened when it came down to it, but I do know that they didn't fade. The crowd might have helped out. Being home might have helped out. But they beat, as far as I'm concerned, the team that was playing the best basketball in the SEC outside of the Auburn Tigers. So says a lot about this team. I think it says a lot about Arkansas. And now we can project into the future and hope that there's something more for March that isn't an NIT.
Man, the Hogs defense, in my notes and stuff, it's almost like your scorebook, but a little more sloppy. But the defense, just multiple pluses, multiple efforts. The rebounding was a negative. That was the one thing. We got a little sloppy at times, but all 5 starters were in double figures, and honestly, we had a lot more easy baskets than they did, and it was all based because our defense and our intensity playing defense created fast break options, created things that just made easy buckets, and we let our athletic ability, shine. And then Nelly Davis, I love the fact that he's playing downhill now. It's like the first 7 games of conference play, you never saw him drive to the hoop, and now all of a sudden he's driving to the hoop, and which I guess he's probably now comfortable now that what's it been 4, 5, 6 games since Boogie's played, so he's kind of figuring out his role. But Nelly Davis has been playing well as also.
You are a copious note taker during basketball and football games. I've seen that. I've seen your notepad. You're scribbling them down there.
I got them for every game. I got them for every game. Yeah.
Do is your handwriting? I haven't actually tried to read your handwriting very much.
It's not very good.
You can read it. That's all that matters.
Absolutely.
Christian doesn't need to read any of it. Maybe an autograph, but that's something.
Billy Richmond. If I'm Coach Pittman, I'm trying to see if he wants to play strong safety or free safety for us. I mean, Billy Richmond. You start looking at this team and trying to evaluate, and I think Coach Cal will have some pull where he can keep guys here. I do. I don't think that's going to be that much of an issue. But man, you start to look at what Billy Richmond and Carter Knox are going to be next year, and that's a good cornerstone to build the team around.
My hand started to hurt yesterday on the drive back because I'm not used to all the regular handwriting. I don't really. I keep some notes during basketball and football season, but all the work that I do for those 2 sports is all done on a laptop. It's all done on Google Docs, and I don't really write all that much. Baseball for me has always been an analog thing. Like, I don't take digital notes. It's all handwritten notes on the opponent. It's all handwritten notes on the Razorbacks, and then the scorebook is all in pencil. So, man, this is more writing than I do in a 4-month stretch than in probably the last 6 years combined. If you were to just remove baseball season, my hand was hurting. It's another sign of age, Matt. At age 48, not only I've been losing my hair for the last 15 years, the knees, the ankles, and these damn wrists and hands and fingers as I'm trying to figure out my own handwriting. notes I got on the baseball team. I'll get into that as we come into the next segment, because maybe we get some questions about baseball coming in if anybody wants. But throughout the show, we'll be talking baseball, basketball, and anything else you want to bring up. We also will have Connor O'Gara for some college football, hour number 3. This week there's meetings to figure out the tweak for the college football playoff. Pretty much the idea will be that you won't have an automatic bye if you're a conference champion. They'll just do pretty much 1 through 4. It's an easy fix, but then it's just a fix for 1 year, and then they'll figure out the football playoff afterwards. So we'll talk with Connor about that. Also visiting with Kat Anderson, the executive director of the Northwest Arkansas Home Builders Association. They're starting their home show this Friday at the Rogers Convention Center. So we'll visit with her about that. 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett in about an hour, and Mike Irwin in about 22 minutes. These are the ways that I can tell it's a Monday, Matt. Otherwise, I would have had no clue. Got home last night, 10 o'clock. So it's not like I really had the chance to just kind of settle in. After being gone for 11 days, everything's dusty. Things fell where they shouldn't have fallen. And I got to get back on the road tomorrow because we got baseball against Grambling tomorrow. But it is that time of the year, so there really isn't anything to complain about at all. Your calls and texts can come in the next segment at 877-377-6963. Any concerns on what you saw over the weekend with baseball? I thought Kansas State really showed out. That I don't really view that as a bad loss against K-State. They end up winning all 3 over the weekend. I thought that the wins over TCU and Michigan said a lot about Arkansas. And there's some things to figure out in the lineup, and that's kind of what this time of the year is all about. As far as basketball is concerned, you get a team that picks up just about as big of a win as you can get, and you got to feel pretty good now about a chance to be playing basketball into the month of March. Absolutely got to feel pretty good about it. Plus, I think C-Unit, if he did his homework over the weekend, should have been entertained by Harold and Kumar. All we need to know at the start here, C-Movie, is whether or not you watch the movie so we can bring it up later.
Yes, it's very funny. I love
it's.
You believe him when he talks like that, man?
Well, it's a bromance type of movie. What is who's Jason Segel and what was that other Paul Rudd? Didn't they have a lot of bromance movies? It's kind of a college fun. I mean, it's 2 homies hanging out. It's just a fun. And then his cameos, Van Wilder, your boy Ryan Reynolds is going. Doogie Howser, MD. I mean he
when they were in the
it.
women's bathroom, that part was hilarious.
See, and I thought maybe I would turn it on, but never really got around to it with so much baseball over the weekend, and I couldn't have done it in the car yesterday. It's just when usually if somebody really likes something, they might sound more like they like something. I think Christian just might have a little bit of that.
That's just how I am.
He's got the RBV, and not quite like your boy Brian in Ozark, who had true RBV. It's just. His exclamation point, Matt, is a little bit more like a period at the end of a sentence.
He's like Barry Sanders. He just hands the ball back to the referee.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he does. That's right. No celebratory laugh at the end of a halfway decent segment. You're exactly right. All right, we got callers lining up. We got texters sending stuff in. Again, the number is 877-377-6963. And if anybody wants to be excited for C excitement, just go ahead and do it. We'll be right back.
And like Jackie Gleason said, my talent came from the Lord, so I can't really take any credit for what I've been blessed with.
This is halftime.
3 on the way, and it's good. It's over. Down goes over. The number 1 team in the country is defeated, and they are rushing the court at Budweiser Arena. They are rushing the floor at Budweiser Arena. Don't do that. No.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championships are coming to Fort Smith, March 6th through the 9th at Fort Smith Southside High School. See the best men's and women's teams in the GAC. Battle it out for an automatic bid into the NCAA Division II tournament. Get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference Tournament at greatamericanconference.com. It's the GAC Basketball Championships, March 6th through the 9th in Fort Smith at Southside High School.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Agent Randy Milam in Alma or Agent Brandon Zimmerman in Barlin.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss. Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
This is going to be a lot of fun today, Matt, because I'll be waking up like periodically throughout the show, just feeling a little bit more lucid as the show goes on. It's just this. It feels like one of those days. And look, I'm not here complaining. It's that time of the year where it's baseball season, so there really won't be any days off, and they'll be traveling and everything. And really, now you kind of know why I'm not doing Bases Loaded, the podcast anymore, because we'd have to do that today, and that ain't happening today. What is happening today is halftime on ESPN Arkansas, 877-377-6963. Brent's with us here. Brent, what's up? Thanks for calling. How are you?
I am great, Phil. And how are you, Matt? I was just calling to tell you, Phil, what a pleasure it is to listen to you with the baseball games this weekend.
Thanks a lot, Brent. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing those games too. There were some tense games, weren't they?
Oh my God! Oh goodness gracious! They all were, in my opinion. They all had their ebbs and flows of tenseness. But the question I had, and I don't know if anybody's ever asked you this, do the players on the baseball team, do they come with their bats or their bats supplied for them and gloves supplied for them when they get to the university?
They can use their own. Some guys like Aloy, has his own bat. Most of them like to have their own stuff. There is no bat contract, as far as I know, for the baseball team, so they're free to use whatever they want. As far as the gloves, they can have a new one ordered each year if necessary, but they can also keep the one that they have been using. Yeah, it's a personal thing for somebody. There are guys that will use the exact same glove from high school into college and into the pros. It just melds into your hand and feels like your hand.
Sure, but I was noticing, like on the pitcher's glove, they've got the Razorback and their name. I didn't know.
Yeah, they gave me one of those too. It looks cool. Yeah, and if I was part of a program like that and you had access to the top equipment, I might get myself a new glove too. Why not?
Absolutely, and Phil, as great a program as our baseball team is, and there is no need for us to have to, our fans to have to watch Razorbacks on Flow Sports.
Well, as long as you're playing, look, you're going to end up having to watch it 3 times a year, because if you're playing in a tournament that is at some major league ballpark, chances are Flow Sports is going to be televising it, and they'll be there next year. So my guess is it'll be Flow Sports too. I know there are some pre-conference season tournaments that MLB Network will show. It'd be great if MLB, hooked on with the Texas Rangers deal that they have these 3 weekends. It would make sense with the Rangers, being a major league club, but that hasn't happened yet.
Hey, but how do you keep yourself when you're not up there with Bubba to keep you entertained? How do you keep yourself entertained for the 9 hours that you're up there for 3 games?
The baseball game ought to be enough, I hope. Look, I try to have fun with it too. I mean, if the game stinks, the game stinks. There's not too much you can do about it, but you can still try to have some fun. Point out things that's going on that are interesting. And look, I try to go in with a good attitude about it, no matter what. Just because, why would you have a bad attitude about broadcasting baseball, even if it's a bad game?
Hey,
I don't like to see them play poorly, but yeah, I mean, it's fun for me. It's kind of my thing.
Oh, I agree with you. I was just asking, I said it the wrong way, but who do you talk to while you're up there if you're by yourself? Are you in the booth by yourself?
Talking to tens of thousands of people that are listening. That's how I try to make it sound. I'm talking to you. I mean, during the inning breaks, there's somebody down in the studio you can talk with, but basically I know it's a one-sided conversation, but I'm talking to you. You, Brent, when you're listening, I hope you can feel that. I hope anybody out there can feel that. I'm talking directly to you.
You do a great job, but do you have somebody in the booth with you that can go get you water or something to drink during the game?
Nah, we got 60 seconds to run back and grab something if we need. And thankfully, you can get an extra 30 seconds if you need to, take care of number one.
There you go. Well, thank you thank you very much for all you do for Razorback sports and Razorback baseball in particular.
Well, I appreciate that, Brent. So what did you choose to do Saturday when it came to baseball at 6 and basketball at 7? How did you take that in?
Well, let me tell you what happened to me. So I tune in on the app at 5:30, thinking I'm going to hear the pregame. Well, it doesn't come on. Then I figure out, heck, I need to go to the Buzz and go to 106.7. And by that time, it was 6 o'clock, so I started listening during the baseball and basketball game. I had the basketball game on the TV, and I was listening to you on the radio. So I had the best of both worlds.
This sounds like a pretty good Saturday there, Brent. Yeah, absolutely.
It was a good Saturday. I cannot lie to you. It was good.
Yeah, and they won both games, which matters the most, right?
And that still, how can we get Nolan Sousa out of his slump?
It's a good question, Brent. It's not a matter of talent for Sousa. I think it's pitch recognition. I think it's going up with trying to either lay off the changeup or sit on the changeup, because that's what he's seeing right now. And he's striking out so much, and it's mostly on the changeup. He's getting himself in a tough count and then swinging at the pitch they wanted to swing at and missing. There's so much talent there. It's just he's talent only goes so far. Mindset and sticking to a plan is the thing that takes you past just the talent. And right now, I think Nolan's having trouble sticking to the plan.
That's what he started out last year so hot because they were. Am I right or am I wrong? They were throwing him a bunch of fastballs and he was just cranking them. And then they figured out he had trouble handling the, I don't know what you call it, the off-speed stuff or whatever.
Well, what ends up happening is you end up, and Bubba calls it being caught between speeds, where, you might be thinking, they're about to throw me a changeup, and you try to sit, and then the next thing you know, it's a fastball, and you can't catch up, and you're thinking fastball, they threw a changeup, and I think he might be caught between the two speeds, and he just needs something. He needs something to fall in. Nothing's falling in either, and part of that is he's not making enough contact. So, yeah, he's one of the ifs. He is one of the ifs of this baseball team this year. If Sousa can, I think, unlock even like half or 2/3 of his potential, he could carry you on a weekend now and again. I mean, I think he has that kind of talent. It's just talent only goes so far.
Oh, you're right, but I know he's working as hard as he can, trying to get it straight. So I hope the very best, because this is no lie. I think this is our best opportunity to win a national championship this year in baseball.
Well, I think they got I think they got as good of a shot as just about anybody else, Brent. I think part of this will be you're going to need production throughout the entire lineup, and that's what Dave's searching for right now, is somebody that's going to produce offensively at second base and at first base. It's not even a matter of who's going to make the plays in the field. I think you'll worry about that if you have the lead late in the game. Otherwise, you need guys to swing it. And Sousa, I think, he'd be really good on the field at second base. But, right now it's just like last year. It looks like it could be a roller coaster. So, the other aspect is that you've expected Rocco Pepe to be a big producer, and over the first 5 games he's played, he hasn't really done that, and he's been getting beat on pitches that he usually wouldn't be getting beat on. So now that's opened up first base a little, and Cam Kozel playing some first base for the first time in his life, more than anything because he's hitting a little bit, or at least hitting enough to stay in that lineup. He's never played first base in his life. So, I mean, the right side of the infield right now is it's not that it's shaky, it's up in the air. And that's what this part of the season, I think, is about. Figuring out, first of all, what kind of a team do you need to be? Do you need to be somebody that needs a glove man at second base or a glove man at first base, or do you need to be a team that has to have guys that hit? And if you're going to be an SEC contender, you're going to have guys that hit at those two positions. And you haven't had enough hitting from those two positions just yet, but I think it'll be there. I do think it'll be there, but I do remember thinking last year, we were waiting all year for the bats to come around, and it really never did happen. I would say the last two games, I thought they put together some really good at-bats. I thought TCU, it wasn't just a thought. I mean, there were 5-line drives that they caught. They put together better at-bats than 2 runs and 3 hits in the win Saturday shows. So I think that offensively over the weekend after Friday, they were a heck of a lot better. We'll see this next weekend. It's there's no reason to be sending out alarms about the offense just yet. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts. Matt, Brent sounded a little bit almost. He's worried about me being alone up in the booth for road games, because that doesn't happen. I mean, you go on the road for basketball, you get people all around you. You got people right in front of you playing basketball. You got a referee handing a ball to somebody right in front of you. You got official scores to your right. You got your bench to the left. Football, there's always 5 or 6 people in a booth. Baseball, it's okay to be solo. Like that, actually, you should be a baseball broadcaster. You get a lot of solitude.
Yeah, I mean, what is what number is this for you? Just up there with the Hogs, 11? Is this your 12th season?
This is my 11th year doing the Razorback games.
Do you correlate this tournament kind of like basketball when they go to Maui? Like, is this kind of like the same type of setup? Like how it's pretty cool. It's a different environment. It's really kind of some of the best teams, and it's a good litmus test. But it's a tournament to go to. You kind of correlate it that way?
It is kind of like, it'd be like if Maui was played at American Airlines Arena in Dallas. Instead of in a high school gym or whatever.
There you go. Yeah. But that's kind
of
of the beauty of the high school gym is the soft rims, and it's cool.
That it is that. It's like a preseason thing, and you want to be, well, look at what we did there. But I remember a team in Arkansas, that might have been 2016. I think they went into, then it was Minute Maid Park, the Astros ballpark, swept 3. Oh, gosh, this team's going back to the College World Series. Look out, SEC. That team ended up losing their last 16 games and missed the SEC tournament. And it's the only Dave Van Horn coach team at Arkansas that didn't even make the NCAA tournament. So you got to watch out what you see on these big league park weekends.
Would they ever? So if I remember seeing the, like the bottom line whenever Aloy, our shortstop, was in the Chesapeake Bay League over the summer, and it was like a wood bat league. So when they go to the professional park, would they ever in season use wood bats for this tournament? Or is that just
the only way you do that is if both teams decide that they will use wooden bats?
Because that would be cool. Yeah,
I've never seen. I've almost 11th year doing Arkansas games. I've never seen them use a wooden bat.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I always saw. Of course, you can't use the any other kind of bat except wood in minor league baseball. So. Yeah, I don't mind being solo up there. It's kind of fun. I'm kind of used to it. I did like 17 years of minor league baseball. I'd say 2/3 of those games were absolutely solo. So, you have a conversation with yourself. Don't be afraid of that person that's talking to himself with a headset on. Brought to you by Crabtree RV. They celebrate their 75th year in business, family-owned business for these 75 years as well. Crabtree RV Center also presents the Greater River Valley RV Show going on right now, extending their sale with lowest prices on all units and financing available on top brands such as Coachman and Grand Design. At Crabtree RV, you find them at the junction of I-40 and I-49, right beside the Cracker Barrel, and online at crabtreerv.com. We'll break. More texts are coming in. It's halftime, and we'll be right back.
I think about the tuna's talent. The tuna would not be called the tuna if it wasn't for the man above.
This is halftime.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I'm in a slump. My energy took a nosedive out of nowhere, and I just don't have the motivation to get things done.
You're over 40. Could be lower testosterone. Have you tried Nugenix Total T?
Nugenix, the testosterone booster on TV?
That's right. Look, I felt the same plunge in my energy after I turned 40. So I tried out Nugenix to see if it would help me.
Did Nugenix make a difference for you?
Night and day. My stamina is way up now. I'm building lean muscle at the gym. I'm totally back on my game. And you could be too. Just send a text to Nugenix. They'll send you a complimentary bottle so you can try it for yourself.
Text ROCK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix
Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321321. That's ROCK to 321321. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Valley Family Dental at the
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your #1 sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for watching. No matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Where you go, it's 10 years and still no sign, but I'm keeping hope alive. Juliet, how you been? You look like that, like you should get your surprise. From this place, human racing, and the faces of people who pound at your door. They'll always want more, they'll want Hummingbird, what's the word? Are you still your mother's child? Or have you found yourself a flower? Flower child, you're still wild under our of this room. Can we eat of all the fruit?
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Working on getting Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation with us for his Monday morning hit. We'll get on that in a moment. Looking through the text line here.
Is Mike's hair all real? Like I see him on TV. I'm gonna ask him. I think that's.
I don't know.
Is it? Can you ask somebody that question? Does he wear a rug?
That I really can't. I can't
Because his
tell
hair
you one
looks
way or the
good.
other.
Like when you look, he's like, oh, okay. So I just wonder if it's and if it's a TV thing, isn't it tax write-offable? Is that true? Like if it's a TV thing,
it should be. I
Right.
mean, really, honestly, it should be. If that's the case, that's a good thing that you and I work in radio too.
well, I do have a haircut for radio. That is for sure. Oh, I think
You don't
we're-
have a
I think
haircut.
we're
You don't.
trying to-
You don't quite have a haircut for the Yankees yet, though.
Never did. Never was on their radar. I don't think they ever. I don't ever think they gave me a shot.
Your beard wouldn't quite work. It still wouldn't work. It's got to be neatly trimmed if you're going to be a Yankee. You really reading some of the reactions about this. It's like this is some massive change, which maybe it really is. Maybe it really is like a massive sea change for something that was a rule for near 50 years.
Do you like it? Is it kind of like the same? Do we equate it to what we were talking about with putting the name on the back of your jersey for Notre Dame? Like if they started doing that, would that be kind of weird?
I think I don't have a problem with having a facial hair policy, but it is. It's not like it's not like the Yankees were having problems signing players before. You pay people well enough, they're gonna sign with you. Hey, we got Mike here with us. Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation joining us here on Halftime. Mike, how you doing today? What's new?
Evidently, you have a new phone system. They were calling me out of Fort Smith, and then when I called back, I don't know what was going on, but couldn't connect.
Mike, I saw you on the TV yesterday. Are you all natural? Like, do you dye your hair? Is it all you?
Well, you trying to say that I'm trying to?
No, you look good. I was giving you a compliment. I thought I was telling Phil you look good, but I was just wondering how that, because Ryan Day, I know that's Phil's boy, but he puts that 50 Shades of Gray in there or something.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Different people have different attitudes about this. Why look old when you don't have to?
Fair enough.
Know?
Yeah, perfect. He asked me the question. I didn't know how to answer it, Mike. And then he asked the question, can you ask somebody that? But why not? Go for it.
We're buddies. Me and Mike are
Absolutely.
buddies.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't care one way or the other, but I mean, it's just an individual thing.
It is. We'll hook on to onto the Razorbacks here now. Let's talk basketball here first. We did a lot of baseball in the last segment. Beating Mizzou, Mike, what does it tell you about Arkansas that they could beat the team that might have been playing the best in the SEC outside of Auburn?
Yeah, that was big, and I didn't think they could do it. What they had to do to win that game was they had to score consistently. They couldn't have gaps. So what happens? All 5 starters score in double figures, and they don't have that period, maybe 9-10 minutes left in the game where the other team goes on a 9-0 run. That never happened. So those things were big. If you go back and look at that first Missouri game, that was when Arkansas dropped 0-5 in the SEC. And you look at the contrast between those two games. Everything that Arkansas did well to win this game, they didn't do well in that first game. And I mean, Dennis Gates pointed that out. I think one of the biggest things that's not being talked about is Cal bringing that 1990 Final Four team in
I think
there.
you're right. I think you're
and
right.
having them connect with these guys, because apparently they all went in there. Todd Day and a bunch of them went in there, and they're basically saying, hey, you guys are Razorbacks. This is what we do. This is our history. You're a part of that. You got to go out and kick these guys' butts. This is a great game, big, full arena. We got to do this. And Big Z and John L. Davis said that fired us up. So I think it was a stroke of genius. I think it helped. I think it helped with the fans. It kind of tied everything together. I I just didn't think they had a shot at the NCAA tournament when they were 0-5. And even all along, I've kind of been, it's looking good, but it's not going to work. And they're still not there. I mean, when you start talking about what they have to do, nobody knows for sure. All these different things are different analytics. You know, are they in the last four in? One from the bottom, and last week they were at the bottom of the last four in, and they moved up, and Lenardi says this and that. I've just watched this enough, guys, that I know when they announce this field every year, there's always one or two teams that are going, what happened? And then there's others that get in that you didn't think they would, so nobody knows. I think if they want to win all four of their remaining games, that gets them 9-9. Yeah, that gets you in. But what's the other combination? I don't know. They just have to keep playing.
Hey, Mike, so it's kind of got Auburn kind of running away, I guess, 2-game lead. Who would be the second best team in the SEC in your opinion? Is it Florida? Is it Missouri? Is it Alabama? Who do you think the second best team in the conference is?
Yeah, I think it's Florida, but it's interesting. I don't think Missouri's getting enough respect. I don't think they're getting enough national respect. They are the only team that Florida's lost to at home this year. They've done some really good things. That's another reason why I didn't think Arkansas could beat them, was because Missouri has played so well on the road. They had a 1-point loss to Tennessee, I think 3 to A&M, and that's it. Missouri's impressive. But, so is Florida. I mean, I think Tennessee's a little bit inconsistent. I think Alabama's been inconsistent. But guys, what's going to happen when they're not playing each other anymore? When this field gets set and however many's in there, 8, 7, 9, whatever, and they hit the field for the NCAA tournament, then what happens? How do they play? And I think they're going to play really well. I think the whole SEC is going to shock people.
I still think you win 2 of the next 4, you're going to be in. With the strength of the league and the strength of the schedule, as long as one of those losses is not at South Carolina, and a good thing that Carolina finally got their first SEC win, get that thing out of the way. Now Arkansas doesn't have that going in that game.
Do you kind of see this Arkansas-Texas game? Both teams are 5-9. Feel like this win you're probably a shoe-in to make the tournament if you win this game. Either team. If Texas beats Arkansas, that puts them at 6, because that's kind of who we're battling to try to get to 7.
Yeah, that's true.
That's big. That's big. I mean, both teams know what's at stake. And so Arkansas's got to play well in that game, and it's going to be the same way with Vanderbilt. They're kind of sitting in there battling with Vanderbilt, and you got to go to Vanderbilt. So those are 2 real key games.
I guess the game didn't pass Cal by, did it, Mike? Come on. Didn't that just sound like one of the most ridiculous quote-unquote narratives when they were given the chance to try to dig up a grave and pour dirt on him? The coaches that had a chance to be anonymous with Goodman took that opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like the game passed him by.
Yeah, I thought that was phony from the beginning. You give a coach a free shot at another coach that he recruits against, and if he trusts you and says he won't out you, yeah, you're going to unload. Why wouldn't you? I mean, I don't think you should do it, but I'd still like to know who did that. But it's interesting. Again, there was a discussion when this whole thing was over after the Missouri game, and I'm reading one of these Facebook private things, I guess what they are. That it's not just your own personal Facebook; it's a group, and they're in there discussing what this really means. And somebody popped in there and talked about it didn't mean anything. Arkansas is going to be shocked because at the end you think you've got a shiny Cadillac and you're just going to have a broken down Volkswagen. And I'm thinking, this has got to be a Kentucky fan. I click on it, some Notre Dame fan. I'm going, what is this random nonsense? So I asked Jacob, who's a big Notre Dame fan of our staff. He's from Indiana. I said, what is this thing, random stuff against Cal? He said, you're going to find that all up in the northeast in that area. There are just some people up there for some reason that don't like him. And he can't explain it. I don't know. Maybe he had so much success and kind of dropped off a little bit, so you take shots at the guy. I don't know. I think he's done an amazing job. If you go back to what he was telling his players during that, when he was trying to get them back on track, and he was being very careful. It was more inspirational, don't chew them out too much, try to lift them up. And you look at where he's at now, one of the things he talked about after that game is they did a good job in the second half limiting Missouri's three-point shooting, but he went off on it. He said, don't come over here and tell me that you did your job because your hand was up. He said, having your hand up doesn't mean anything. I don't want the guy to see the rim. Don't come over and tell me on the bench because you screwed up. So he's putting pressure on these guys now. Now he's turning it on. And I just was a very subtle thing that he did, kind of guiding them through all of this. And it's impressed me. I don't know how much it impresses anybody else, but I thought they were dead in the water. I didn't think anybody could pull this off. So maybe they have. We'll see.
Yep, not dead in the water. Not yet. 4 regular season games left and maybe a chance to make a case in the SEC tournament too. Mike, we'll visit again next week. Appreciate you joining us as always.
See you guys.
Thank you, Mike.
It's Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation, Au Natural, and you can join us here on Halftime at 877-377-6963. Stay with us. Back to wrap up the first hour in a moment.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
This is Halftime.
To $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest on Saturday, April 26th. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please visit our Facebook page for more information or call our office at 479-452-2260.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours? Without enough help, you can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires. Don't disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Forsgren is hiring immediately. Forsgren Incorporated, a heritage company and premier employer, is now hiring equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Have experience in any of these areas? Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Don't delay. Forsgren is hiring now at GoForsgren.com. Don't miss your opportunity to join the Forsgren legacy. Forsgren has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You went uptown in your limousine with your parking clothes. You had the dog hair in your hand, spit up your nose. Ooh, when you wake up in the morning with your head on fire, too bloody to see. Dog come fetching me because you had to be a big shot.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, I need some help here. We need questions that you're only able to ask close friends here on a 4-station radio show with tens of thousands of people listening, because you can only ask close friends very specific questions. I think that was one of the things that we got there with Mike Irwin, Matt.
Yeah, man. So it's him and Alyssa. I think Courtney Mims on the Pig Trail Nation, and so I was watching a little bit of it the other day. They do a great job, man. They put a good work.
Well, yeah, you got to appreciate too with the, as they call it, the sports hole closing on television news broadcasts, that they use all these other platforms that they have and do a really good job with it too. Of course, we'll have Alyssa tomorrow, and I don't know, maybe there's questions that we can ask her that you can only ask close friends as well. Any questions that you got here about it, you can text us in 877-377-6963 to get with us as far as any of that is concerned. Looks like I think our winter blast is done. You think we're finally through winter? I know it's I think a couple of weeks or so until it's official, but it feels like it might be spring now.
It doesn't last long here in the River Valley. Hey, who and we got all week, next couple hours, but when you start looking at this baseball team and who is the Billy Richmond of this baseball team is what I'm asking. Like, who's a freshman?
But the guy that you'd want to be a free safety?
Who's a freshman that you're just like, he's raw, he's natural, he has ability, you see it coming. Who's a young kid that you like that you saw over the weekend?
Well, I mean,
is there any freshmen playing? I guess that maybe should be the other question.
The only position player freshman that we've seen get much time is the catcher, Zane Becker, and Dave brought him in the fourth inning yesterday because Helfrich had struck out twice. They want Becker to play. I don't know if he'll play too much when you get into the SEC, but that's a kid that I know that they really like, and he's the only freshman position player that I've seen get out there very much. As far as pitchers, it's Carson Wiggins, and he got a chance yesterday to close in the eighth inning and just couldn't throw strikes. You know, we saw that from his brother a couple of times, and look, I don't know what it's like to throw 99 miles an hour. That's got to be difficult to command, you know, as a teenager, and even as you get into your 20s and your 30s, that's difficult to command. But he had been commanding it until yesterday, and they had to pull him in the eighth inning after, I think he only threw one strike to two hitters, and Dave took him out of the middle of a 2-0 count. He's physical. You know, he put a little extra weight on him, and he might be somebody that you could have put on the line of scrimmage. He's tall. He's like 6'4" or 6'5". You know, you're not going to have pitchers necessarily be quite as big to be a lineman, but I don't know if we got a free safety on the team yet. Maybe not. I do like Wiggins. I think he'll get – look, they'll give him another chance to close, but it does say something about Tate McGuire to close in the ninth inning yesterday. It was kind of like seeing Jake Faraday do the same thing last year against Oregon State. Not the guy that would usually get the chance to close, but when you needed him, he came through, getting the only batter he faced. 877-377-6963 to get with this here on halftime. Nobody coming up in the next segment, so you can call us, you can text us, we'll get right to it. And 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center coming up as well. That's in about 20 minutes. Stay with Halftime. We will be right back.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Light.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountainburg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Happy New Year from Sharp Equipment. Come on over to the new Sharp Equipment today and explore what all Sharp has to offer. From our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Neuson dealer to customized hydraulic and industrial hoses, equipment repairs, and as a Cinnabogan authorized service provider, we're able to offer even more. Stop in to check out the new location at 5608 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-649-0500 to see how at Sharp Equipment we help you move more than just the world. We help you move forward. Sharp Equipment, your Wacker Neuson dealer.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Rachel's at Papa's right now. Rachel, what do you think?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
You can check out their menu at papaspub.com. Cricket, how about you?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Come on by and see us at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds. Our high temperatures this afternoon into the lower 60s. Clear skies overnight, dropping down upper 30s to near 40. Tuesday, right back to sun, a high upper 60s to near 70, and we could see a few showers on Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Good pick, good pick.
KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
The drinking all day.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that was respected. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones, man, take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Three up, three down coming up in the next segment. Welcome back in 1 minute after 12 noon on halftime. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson along with Matt Jones and Christian Johnston producing. We'll be doing 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett in the next segment. Anything up, anything down you got for us, let us know. 877-377-6963 to get with us. We saw the Ivisic brothers play against each other earlier in the season, Matt, and in the game in Kansas City, Tomislav ended up getting the better of Big Z in terms of basketball. We got two brothers that are hitting in the same lineup on occasion for this Arkansas baseball team, and they hit home runs in the same inning in Friday's loss against K-State. So that is really cool to see. And part of the story right now is how do you get Kahio Aloy some at-bats? Because right now everything he's touched has turned to gold.
What's he play in the field? Did you say he plays a little first base? What other positions can he play out in the field? I'm sure he's an athlete, right? I mean, his brother's is probably one of the best athletes on the team.
See, that's the fly in the ointment with Aloy. He doesn't really have a position yet. He was a DH at BYU last year. And remember, he went to BYU as a pitcher. And then after fall ball, they converted him to hitter, which I'm sure he did plenty of hitting in high school. But he went to college as a pitcher first. I'll tell you what, though, he has a lot of raw ability as a hitter. And I like his mentality, especially when he got a chance to pinch hit in Saturday's game against TCU and saw one pitch and cracked an RBI double off the left field fence to give Arkansas the lead. You just don't waste a good pitch to swing at when you come off the bench as a pinch hitter. But I'd asked Dave about this yesterday because I thought Kahio would be in the lineup. Why wouldn't he be after two swings of the bat that produced a home run and a double in 2 games? And for one thing, he will play against lefties because they know he crushes lefties. Now, he hit a double off a righty the other day, too, so I think he can hit righties as well. But he'll start probably a lot against lefties. But he doesn't have a position. He hasn't played first base. I think he might be able to play some first base, but he hasn't done much of it yet. And he hasn't played a lot of outfield yet either. And I know you got to hit, but you also have to be able to field the position. And that's kind of, the DH spot right now, it's him and it's Logan Maxwell. And they want, and not just want, need Maxwell to get going. I think once his hamstring is 100% healthy, he very well could end up as a potential everyday corner outfielder. But in order for that to happen, and he's in his 3rd year of college, he needs the opportunity to get at bats, get out there and swing and see what he can do. If it doesn't work out for him, maybe Kahio does take over as a full-time DH. But in order for that to happen, he's got to continue to hit. It's not just a one-off thing, but he can hit. I don't think there's any doubt about that, and it won't be the only time this year that they both hit a home run in the same inning. So as soon as he finds a position or as soon as and it's not about finding a position. I'm sure there's plenty of practice for him in right field. He's just got to get better at it. And I think that's part of the story for him this season. If there's a lefty on the mound, I bet you he's the starting DH, and he'll be fine. Josh asks if he'll be the Charlie Welch of this team. Yes, right now he is. That is exactly what he is. Charlie you would wonder sometimes, why is Welch not starting? Well, that kind of a hitter turns into a trump card. It's the guy, and it was amazing to see how Welch did it. Every time he got a chance, in its 7th, 8th, 9th inning, it felt like every time he came through. That is such a valuable resource. When you get one at-bat and you're that good to come in the pressure moments and not need, those first couple of at-bats to maybe feel warm or feel like you're seeing the ball well. That's what he is right now. And I don't know if Kahio needs to see the ball well because he seems like somebody that see ball, hit ball, which that mentality can go a long way sometimes. And it's fun to listen to him talk, too, because he's got a little bit of that voice is still changing voice where it's almost like, all right, is he 14 and he just hit a home run and a double, or is he 19? I think he's closer to 19. But I think there's also got to be a little bit of an effect of those two guys now playing together
camaraderie,
for the first time in 2 years.
Kind of familiar, yeah.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. Whenever we heard the news that he was coming in from BYU, I thought that would give a tick to his brother as well.
And it's, you can look at that in a simplistic way sometimes, but if you're comfortable, and Vahiva's playing comfortably too, 4 for 4 yesterday, he had a couple of errors in the field, but I think he'll be fine there. And I think more, the error in the ninth inning, I think more had a little more to do about who the first baseman was. I'd be surprised if you don't see Reese Robinette coming in to play first base 8th and 9th innings with a lead. Even Dave after the game said he thought maybe I should have put Robinette in there, and I think he will next time. So Robinette would have caught that with his foot on the base because he's 6'4", and Kozel is 5'9", 5'10". So I don't really put all of that on Eloy, but he looks comfortable too. So yeah, having the brothers there, at some point they'll be hitting one after the other potentially. Wouldn't it be cool if they go back to back? Bet you it happens at some point. Maybe not this year. Well, this will be Vahiva's last year at Arkansas, so hopefully it does happen this year. Here's Charlie. You can call us, 877-377-6963. Good afternoon, Charlie. What's up?
What's up, guys? Yeah, I was thinking about this, Phil, and I know you remember. When Vahiva came in last year and he was struggling a little bit, and he got off to such a slow start. You know, he has this, I think his brother has this too, but they both have this mindset of when they go up there to bat, it's almost like they think they're going to get a big hit, both of them. And even when I do not want to botch their first name, so I'm just not going to even do it. Even when the older Eloy came in last year, the thing is even when he was struggling, Phil, as I'm saying, like, it just felt like he kept on sticking after it. Now, Vahiva came from a smaller school, right? He came from that, what was it, Sacramento State?
Sacramento State, that's right.
So, and I know Cahillo, or however you say it, but I mean, he's played at a little bit higher level. But the thing is both of them almost play the game like they have no conscience. And I guess that's good and bad at times, because there's obviously sometimes that, he would frustrate Dave or anybody. But, at the same time, like you need some guys like that on your team that when they go up there to bat, no matter what, they feel like they're going to get a hit or they're going to do something positive in that situation. And my point to this is, Iredale has looked really good as well. Look, we struggled in game one, and I know everybody's already all over the we can't hit thing. Here we go with that. That win in game two was huge. Now, Phil, let me ask you this, because I know you're going to be honest about it. Do you think game three was more of, okay, we're playing probably the worst pitching staff in this tournament compared to the first two teams? Is that why but either Eloy has been hitting well for the most part. But I mean, who is one guy right now? You mentioned Maxwell. He needs to get going. Who is another guy that you feel like if he gets going, that's really going to help this team? And Sousa's another guy. Like, it's hard for me. I feel like Dave's having an issue taking him off the field because he's a good second baseman, right? I mean, and that's what's difficult. I know he's struggling a little bit, but how do you take him off the field? I mean, when he can do what he does.
Well, I think he'll end up playing a little more because you got Kozel playing first base now because Pepe hasn't been hitting. But then Kozel's got to learn first base. I mean, this goes along with the idea of Cahillo needing to learn how to play a position, but there's a difference. Cahillo is a hitter first and foremost, and then he was a pitcher. I don't know how many positions or how much he played in the field in high school, but he obviously didn't at BYU. The way that DVH views Kozel is that this guy is a ball player. Middle infielder, maybe put the catcher's gear on him at some point, Dave said, but you figure you throw a guy at first base that's a ball player, quote unquote, and he's going to be able to learn the position on the fly. And, I mean, there were little awkward plays here and there for Kozel, but he also made some plays that a big first baseman that's a big donkey that's just hitting home runs and being anchored to the base wouldn't be able to make. But that also opens up the idea that, well, who's going to play second base? Dave tried Gabe Frazier. Frazier didn't hit very much, committed an error. I don't know how much second base he's played. So it's Sousa right now, and he's got to hit. He has to hit. Whoever's going to play at second base or first base has to hit, because that's the way it's going to shake out. Whoever hits the most is going to get a chance to play the most. And then you worry about glove work, I think, once you get into the latter innings. Sousa can be fine at second base. I think Kozel's fine at second base. First base right now, that's where I think it's more like throwing it against the wall and seeing what sticks. If Robinette was hitting in the fall and in January, he'd be your first baseman because he's a really good first baseman. But you got to hit to play that position, and it hasn't happened yet. 877-377-6963. Appreciate the phone call, Charlie. Thank you very much. We got a break. We'll do 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center in just a moment here on Halftime.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor at all.
This is Halftime.
5 seconds to go. Matt, right side. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Qualls with the dunk at the buzzer. It goes and Arkansas wins. It goes and Arkansas wins. Qualls with a two-hand finish. Arkansas wins the ball game.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. Cecil, this is the one-stop shop.
Yes, Jazzco Graphics Design, the one-stop shop, 2415 Midland, for your customer buck order.
Why ESPN 95.3?
I really enjoy listening in, and it keeps my day going while I'm at work. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren, the best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Back on Halftime on a Monday. We appreciate you tuning in at 17 minutes after 12 noon. It is time for 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett of River Valley Smile Center.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
3, good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 up and 3 down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
Dr. Liggett was at the baseball weekend. I got a few text messages from him during the series at Globe Life Field. Charlie, how you doing? What was it like? You got to go on the field before one of the games, right?
Yeah, that was really cool. Got to go in for In and Out on Sunday, and got to first time ever on a major league field. So it was really cool, and got to see a bunch of the Razorback players, and it was a lot of fun.
How about how Arkansas fans showed out? I think you were talking about the Saturday game. They announced, what was it, a little under 18,000? There were more than 18,000 people there Saturday, just by my eye.
And what do you think, like 95% Arkansas fans?
About that, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
TCU had a few. I thought TCU showed out better than I thought they would, but keeping in mind, I mean, they're literally next door to Arlington. And,
I thought TCU would have a decent crowd there compared to. I mean, Kansas State hardly had any fans. But I thought that TCU would have a bigger crowd than they did. You're right. I mean, they did have some people there, but nothing like we did.
My first up today, guys, will go to the end of losing streaks. The UMES Hawks, Maryland Eastern Shore, finally won a baseball game for the first time since May 20th, 2023. They'd lost 55 straight before beating the Towson Tigers Saturday 14-7, but there's a little bit of a rub thrown into this here. It was the second game of a doubleheader. They lost the first game 10-0. So even though Maryland Eastern Shore ended the losing streak, it still occurred on a day where they lost a game. But to win your first game since May 20th, 2023, congratulations to the Hawks. And now watch out Mount St. Mary's, because the Hawks will be hosting you tomorrow in their home opener. And, Matt, your boy Doug Gottlieb's Green Bay Phoenix won their first Horizon League game, too.
Man, I've been pulling for him. I know it's him against the world, but I've really been pulling for him.
They beat Wright State 79-68. That was last week, but they lost 2 games. They lost the last 2 games to Robert Morris and Youngstown State, so that's a little bit more like you would expect. And my first down goes to small ball over the weekend for the Hogs. Now, the game they lost on Friday to K-State, small ball turned into the Razorbacks' enemy. They tried a couple of bunts right back to the pitcher, Rocco Pepe and Nolan Souza, 2 batters who have struggled to hit the ball solidly, tried to bunt in their first at-bat, went right back to the pitcher. Later in the game, Charles Davalon was thrown out going first to third. Part of this is a matter of execution. Part of it is also, small ball didn't work for the Hogs against K-State on Friday. Doesn't mean it won't work later on. They got enough base runners yesterday to just kind of let Michigan walk them, get bases loaded, and then put balls in play. It was really, yesterday was a matter of contact in situations where you put the ball in play, something's going to happen. I think it's a team that'll make more contact than we've seen in recent years. Matt, what you got first?
Liverpool go to Man City and get a victory 2-0. So they're up 11 points with 11 games left. So finishing up there in the Premier League, it's going to be a great ending. And then the down was the game was on Peacock. They did all the pre-coverage on USA Network, and then all of a sudden, as soon as the game gets here, you have to have a different subscription. So I didn't get to watch it, but they still won 2-0.
Oh, that's too bad, man. Got to get you a Peacock subscription too. I think that's one of the more. Isn't that one of the lesser expensive subscriptions? I don't know what it is, like $5 or something. For a soccer fan, it might be worth it.
Yeah, I think it's $8 a month, but I get the YouTube TV, so I get most of it. But as far as the Peacock's an extra, it's an add-on.
Dr. Liggett, what you got? Number one.
My first up is the whole setup of the Globe Life Field series. I don't know how it is for you guys, Phil, but for fans, I mean, it's phenomenal. It's not expensive to go, or at least to go to the games. You know, it's like $90 for every game, and it's not just Razorback games. You can go to all 3 games every day. You can sit wherever you want. It's just set up really good. I think they make it easy, and there's hotels all around right there. It's easy for a 4.5 hour drive from Fort Smith. I thought they did it really well. I thought the Razorbacks. I like a lot of things about this team. I think we do have some things to work on. But how about Kohio Loy's home run that he hit? That 117 off the bat, 424 to left.
Yeah, it was a line drive too. Like if he got it higher in the air, that thing might have gone through the left field window.
yeah, no kidding. I wonder if he'll be a Charlie Welsh, Dr. Pinchot type player.
I think he'll have a chance to play a little more every day, but it is the same situation. Like Welch didn't have a position, and he was more of a catcher who wasn't really a very good catcher and didn't play other positions very much. I think with Eloy, like he's younger than Charlie was, and I think there's a little bit more there in terms of an ability to find and learn a position. So I don't think he'll just be
right. What did he pitcher last year?
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll just be a pinch hitter this year.
I hope they find a spot for him. I guess they kind of took him out of the first base battle there because you don't really hear a whole lot about him over there.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're right about that. But I think also first base will come down to who's hitting, and if whoever they're trying over there is not hitting, maybe Eloy might get a look because he to me looks like somebody who just can hit. It's just a natural hitter.
Yeah. I definitely like seeing him at the plate for sure. My first down will go to Flow Sports again. I obviously didn't use it, but sure did get a lot of complaints from all my friends that were watching it. Lots of glitches, and you can't. It's not on an app, so you can't stream it from Roku or Fire Stick. But what I say to them is, go to Dallas, go to the game, and if not, then just listen to Phil. He paints a beautiful picture, and there wasn't just a couple of years ago that we're pretty spoiled now. I mean, we used to have to listen to every single game except for the postseason and just a game here or there. But wasn't that long ago that we couldn't watch them.
It does give me an appreciation for the service, like the streaming services that work properly. Like D1 Baseball is even streaming a baseball weekend, I think, in Round Rock. In the last 2 years, they've had trouble keeping their stream up. And I mean, like, what was the deal with the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fake fight?
Yeah, even
with
Netflix has problems with it.
Yeah, I mean, they basically they didn't invent streaming, but they nearly perfected it. So, it gives me an appreciation for the services that work, because not all of them seem to work. All right, I got a second up, and my second up goes to Big Z for not worrying about outside shooting. Think about how miserable his previous game was. 0 for 11 from the field, 0 for 10 from downtown. So he didn't worry about downtown very much. 6 for 8 from the floor, just 3 attempted threes, got to the foul line, made them all. This is a guy that can show he can score in different ways. That's a big step up. That's nice to see. Way to go, Big Z, for not worrying about the outside shooting on Saturday. Second down is just for Gage Wood having to undergo an MRI today. I don't know what the results are or what time the MRI occurs. And everybody's always waiting for that injury for a pitcher, and there may be one. He looked great yesterday. I mean, he's throwing 97 miles an hour. He had a good slider, struck out 6 out of the first 10 batters, and then as he comes back to start warming up for the third, first warm-up pitch, and he could tell something was wrong. Maybe it's a good thing it's a shoulder instead of the elbow. It's just shoulder injuries. The elbow surgery, if you do have the UCL tear, usually you come back, although it takes a while, but you come back really strong. Shoulders are a thing that a career can end with. from the very first injury. It's tough to recover from those if it's something serious. So I hope it's nothing serious and it's just a matter of some inflammation, maybe some soreness, because Gage had taken a big step up this year in terms of, I think, his velocity, and he looked like somebody that could have been a Friday pitcher for some teams. So that'll put a little pressure on the pitching staff. Beidelshees, I'm anticipating, would be the Sunday starter. I don't think you'll see Gage this weekend, even if the MRI comes out clear. And look, it's an unfortunate aspect of being a pitcher. There's always going to be injuries for pitching staffs every single year, and I know that's been the case at Arkansas. It ain't a matter of coaching. It's a matter of being a pitcher these days. So that's my second down. Matt, you're up.
All right. My second up goes to the Razorback basketball team. All 5 starters in double figures. They are, they started 0-5. Nobody wants to start 0-5, but they're 5-4 in their last 9. So hopefully they've turned the corner and getting it going. And I really think 2 more wins gets them in. Why not win them all? But I think this team, they're kind of getting it going at the right time. And then my second down goes to the New York Knicks. I think they're a little more pretender than contender. I watched them play against the Celtics, and the Celtics I guess they can do that to you. I like Jalen Brunson. I like some of their pieces, but when they play the Celtics or the Cavs, they don't really win. So they're beating the teams they're supposed to be, and maybe they are just the 3rd or 4th best team in the East. But I do not think the Knicks are a contender. I think they're a pretender.
All right, Dr. Liggett, you got number 2.
All right. So this was kind of impressive to me. It took me by surprise when I read it this morning. That Deuce Thiero is the 8th player in Arkansas history to have 400 points, 150 rebounds, 50 assists, 40 steals, and 20 blocks in a season. The company that he's with is Big O, Corliss, Hood, Note, Jay Will, and Anthony Black. I mean, that's pretty salty right there. You kind of think, Thero's having a good year or whatever, but you don't really think of it as like one of the all-time great Razorback seasons. But pretty stiff competition he's up against. It's pretty good.
You're telling me that J.D. Note blocked 20 shots in a season, and I'm looking at his page on College Basketball Reference, and he did. That's shocking.
I would have thought that.
I'd forgotten how good of a defender he is. I mean, he stole it all the time. I'd forgotten he blocked 25 shots in a season. They listed him at 6'1". He wasn't 6'1".
Yeah, that's funny.
That's hilarious. All right, you got another one.
Yeah. So my next down, not necessarily a down so much, but yesterday was the 40th anniversary of Bobby Knight's chair throwing against Purdue. And so at the game, Mike Woodson, the Indiana coach, they had the actual chair that he threw, and he sat in it for the game. I thought that was a pretty cool little touch. And then
that's a collectible. You're telling me nobody had actually bought this? Like, that's the kind of thing Mike Neighbors would look to buy. The chair
exactly.
that Bobby Knight threw across the floor.
So they had the chair sitting there next to all the other chairs for the team and whatever. And I didn't know this, but now, since that chair throwing incident, they actually chain those chairs up, and they're locked with padlock, so you can't move them. I don't know if they do that at Razorback Stadium, but they do it in Indiana.
No, there's some buildings you go to where the chairs are not locked together, but they're sort of like, well, I guess you could say locked together. Not locked to the floor, but sort of, just, they're all one, so you couldn't pick any of them up.
Yeah.
Maybe we call that the Bobby Knight rule.
Yeah.
Third up for me is Vahiva Aloy is the SEC Player of the Week. Just got the email coming through, so that makes a lot of sense. He had a let me see what I had him over the 4 for 4 yesterday, but I had him for the weekend. He had 6 base hits. He had 2 home runs. There were the 2 errors in the field yesterday, but I put one of them kind of just not having the right first baseman in the 9th inning. So Vahiva looks like he is comfortable, and a year ago he didn't look like he was comfortable. He was 0 for 13 at Globe Life last year, and more than half of those at-bats ended on strikes. He was basically Arkansas's best hitter over the weekend. So he is very comfortable. Third down is to spring football games. Texas, South Carolina, Nebraska have canceled spring football games, and they may be for various reasons. I saw Matt Rule said, we're going to televise this, right? I don't want other teams basically scouting my players and making offers for them once the spring portal opens up. And then, I saw Sarkis talking about, we played 3 or 4 extra games than we did the year before. What do we need a spring game for here? So it does look like spring games may be on the way out in some spots. I don't know what the plans are for Arkansas's spring practice season yet, whether there'll be a game or just like a series of games or a Pro Bowl games or something like that. But it does look, Matt, like spring football games, at least in some places, are a thing of the past.
Yeah, you got to make sure you tackle and hit. It's supposed to be for the fans, the spring football game. It's an exhibition where the fans come out and check it out. But the real work's done in the 15 practices that you're allowed to do. My third up goes to West Ham. They got a victory over Arsenal, 0-1. So that was big time for Liverpool. And then Villa beat Chelsea 2-1. And then my third down is actually an up. It's to something Dr. Charlie just brought up. Anthony Black, he led the Magic off the bench yesterday to a victory over the Washington Wizard. Check out this stat line: 27 minutes. 7 of 12 from the field, 7 boards, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 5 from 5 from the free throw line, 4 of 5 from the 3-point line, 23 points. I mean, just an all-around game, 110-90 over the Wizards.
Yes, he's averaging about 9.5 points, 3.5 assists.
Magic might make the playoffs this year.
How do you like that? Dr. Liggett, you'll take us home here.
All right. So the number 10 softball team, they lost their first game. Ended up the runner-up at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. They lost to UCLA. But, man, they've been killing the ball. Bree Ellis, she's hitting close to 600 with 9 home runs. Reagan Kramer hitting 448. She's a left fielder, and her uncle, Eric Kramer, was a pitcher with me in college. So I've known that family for quite a while. Pretty
not a quarterback with the Chicago Bears?
Nope, different guy.
All right, making sure.
And so my last note here is don't give up on Nolan Souza. I mean, if you remember last year, Caleb Cowley couldn't do anything early in the season. What was he like? 0 for 20, or I don't remember his exact numbers, but it was pretty bad, and everybody thought he was terrible. I mean, ended up being one of our better hitters. So let's not give up on him. I think Kendall Diggs is really starting to come on. He's looking totally different at the plate too. So let's not be too hard on these hitters because it's early. Pitchers are always ahead of hitters, and I think they're going to get there.
Well, I think February baseball is fool's gold in both ways.
Exactly.
It's a long season. You can't make any final decisions on anybody in February, because I've seen Arkansas play poorly in February and end up playing really well in May and June, and then I've seen it the other way around. So it's it's just February, and that also goes to the idea of they won 2 out of 3, but it's also just February. So we'll see what happens when they actually start playing SEC teams. But I do think TCU is pretty good. Michigan may be they care about baseball now at Michigan. Like, they're putting money into that program. The Big Ten had to step up in some cases because they had some good programs out of the West Coast join them.
And that guy that threw for K-State was really good.
He was.
He threw really well.
I think they saw 3 tough starting pitchers over the weekend. Really tough pitchers. All right, Dr. Liggett, we always appreciate these visits. 3 Up, 3 Down has been presented by River Valley Smile Center since we started it, and it's been a few months now. Matt's a patient of Dr. Liggett, and, of course, you can be too.
Absolutely. Get out there, check them out. They'll take care of you. They treat you like family, and they really do. They know what they're doing, and they take care of you.
River Valley Smile Center is a comprehensive dental facility. Doc, tell them what you do at River Valley Smiles.
We do a little bit of everything. We do just the regular fillings, crowns, extractions, whitening. We do some a lot of sleep apnea treatment for people that are having trouble breathing at night or wearing a CPAP and you'd like to have an alternative. We have some appliances that we can make for you that we've had really good results with. But we're also one of the only places that do general dentistry under sedation. So definitely come by and see us. And if you mention that you heard us on Halftime, we'll give you $100 off your first visit.
RiverValleySmiles.com to schedule an appointment, or you can call 479-646-0706. Doc, am I going to see you at Bohm Walker anytime soon?
Well, I've got a cheerleading competition this weekend. I don't have one. My daughter has one that I'll be at.
I was going to ask, where in the pyramid do they stack you?
Yeah, way down at the bottom. But we'll be in Dallas this weekend, so I won't be there. But after that, I'll be at every home game that I'm in town for.
Very good. Always appreciate you visiting with us, Charlie. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir.
It's River Valley Smile Center. When you get there, you become family. Now stay with us. We've got a couple of callers on hold. You can join us at 877-377-6963 to the phones right after the break.
This is Halftime.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. How is it sharp? How is it electric? Good questions. Try this on for size. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime, forcing, playoffs on the line, golf. With 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour. Split into 6 teams. Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter, LA, New York, and the Bay. This isn't your average Sunday pickup game. Tune in every week for TGL matches, only on ESPN. Keep up. It's golf.
This is Halftime.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. How about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing?
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your #1 sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for watching Baseball Game. ESPN 95.3.
She sat right down so far. Said, where have you been? I've been waiting for you. 'Cause last night I had something so good. Days get so long and I got nothing to do. I've been hanging around.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Go right to the phones. Had a couple of the callers wait during the last segment. Mike was on hold the longest. Mike, thanks for calling and thanks for holding. What's going on? Hello, Mike. Wait all that time and wasn't ready to talk. Maybe Chris in Russellville is ready. Chris, what's going on? How are you?
Hey, man, you there?
Yeah, we're here loud and clear.
All right. Hey, man, I went this weekend. It was great, man. Being down there at Globe Life and everything, it was wonderful. Hey, whenever we're there feeling something major happens, we always go to the app and check you out and see what you have to say about it. But that play at third, where we got thrown out at third, that was something. We're upset. I wish you could let the viewers hear your replay on that. I don't know if you remember, but you're like, you never get the third out at third. You never get the third out at third.
Yeah.
That was a big learning experience, I believe.
Well, that's one of those instances where you want to play the quote-unquote small ball, right?
I thought that was going to be overturned, and that was pretty cool. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you loud. The idea of the out that Davalon made at third base, I like the mindset. You just got to know the situation better. Any ball that's hit in front of a runner on your way to second base, you're not going to third. You're not going to make it. And I think he has to know better than that. He got overly aggressive. And then as far as like the play at first base with Kozol, that was wild. Like I stopped Kozol yesterday. He was on his way to the cage, and I asked him about how much he'd played first base, and the game where he literally turned that 3-6-3 double play by backhanding a ball and then throwing to second and then slips and falls and literally crawls to first base. That's the first day he'd ever played first base in his life. He hadn't even practiced there at Arkansas. I think he's just been a second baseman, and he'd never played first in Little League and Youth League and in high school, at Vanderbilt, nowhere. And sometimes you'll see it with Arkansas, that you don't have that prototypical first baseman who will hit like a first baseman, because Robinette is that prototypical first baseman. You think of somebody that's 6'3", 6'4", has good footwork around the bag, can dig it out and save errors on high throws. But you also got to be able to hit like a first baseman. You can't be, somebody that's hitting singles or striking out or not driving in runs as a first baseman. That's a hitter's spot. So is corner outfield. So is third base. And so what you got now is you got guys who haven't played much first base that are over there because they're better hitters. And Kozol's learning on the fly. That'll be, kind of an interesting thing to watch. It's even stuff like watching him hold runners on and put the tag down. He doesn't quite look comfortable doing it. It's a simple act of putting your glove out, catching a throw from a pitcher, and dropping a tag down. But there are little subtleties about how to do it quicker and how to save an error, and I think he's got a lot of natural ability. There's a lot of practice that he needs at first base, and I don't think the team can hold like an actual organized practice today. I think these Mondays are supposed to be their quote-unquote days off. But outside of whatever classwork Cam has to do, what do you think he's working on today? It's like being Scott Hatterberg in the movie or the book Moneyball. You got to learn how to be a pick machine. Just practice, practice, practice. I bet you that's what he's doing right now is practicing first base. All those little things that you got to do to be a first baseman. And then if he doesn't hit, somebody else is going to get that chance there.
Tell him first base is easy. No, it's extremely hard.
It's extremely hard. Just ask Ron Washington. It's exactly right. 877-377-6963. Well, the sun is out. You're not worried about slipping on any more. Then again, I do have icy patches on my driveway because the sun doesn't quite hit it. You might still be craving something sweet and delicious and frozen, and Andy's Frozen Custard has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. Let's see, these days I'm thinking about the Snow Monster Concrete. Frozen custard blended with strawberries and melted chocolate chips. I might skip lunch and just eat that. Andy's Frozen Custard. They're on East Oak Street and Dave Ward Drive in Conway. They're in North Little Rock on JFK Boulevard and on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. And Andy's Frozen Custard always has you covered. Walk up or drive through, ready to serve you. We'll break. Back to wrap up hour number 2 of Halftime after this.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah. This is Halftime.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Are you a gamer, working from home, a family with lots of connected devices? Ozarks Go offers faster speeds, better connections, and more reliability. Leave your frustration and buffering from your current provider and get Ozarks Go. Ozarks Go provides real, affordable broadband internet to homes and businesses in Northwest Arkansas. Ready to get the best? Then go to ozarksgo.net and sign up now. Don't wait any longer. Faster speeds, better connections, and more reliability. Visit ozarksgo.net today.
It's the Salesman Showdown at Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. Never seen a sale like this. Troy, you're pulling out all the stops, and so are your salespeople this month.
Yes, definitely. You know, Tommy, I've been telling everybody we are taking deals from now until the end of the month that we've never taken before. You know, these sales guys, they're competing. They're doing everything that they can to earn your business. It is the Salesman Showdown. I mean, heck, first place gets a vacation and a gift card. We're giving away 75-inch TV, a big tool set. I mean, they really are. They are doing everything that they can to earn your business. So come down here and see us. You know, one of the big things we're doing right now, maximize your tax return. We are going to be matching your down payment up to $1,500. So if you've got, let's say you just got $500, that turns into $1,000. $1,000's $2, and $1,500 turns into $3. So come and see us.
All right, it's the Salesman Showdown. We're going to be telling you more. Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw, and online at harryrobinson.com.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on Halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That go to hunt.
Dog,
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
West dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for two for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for two for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's a destination a little up the road from the habitations of the towns we know. A place we saw the lights turn low. The chicks start dancing to get fresh flow. Pulling out jobs and jamboree handouts. 2 turntables and a microphone. Bottles and cans and just clap your hands. Just clap your hands.
Time live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
I've got a question on the text line out of the 870 about an update on Adu Thero, which I don't think there is an update on Adu. Probably hear maybe something tomorrow from whichever coach does the pre-game presser for Wednesday's game. But, you know, you got injury concerns on baseball and basketball now with Gage Wood undergoing an MRI today. What's the deal with Thero? What did he look like on Saturday?
Yeah, it looked, I really couldn't tell when it happened, but it looked the way he was walking that it was almost like his hip or something. But I guess that could be your back where it's all kind of connected right there with your hamstring and that band right there that's your sciatica. The thing is, Phil, it's an opportunity for Billy Richmond. You start thinking, well, where are the minutes going to go? Billy Richmond can't play 11 minutes and foul out the game. You know, like he's kind of got to quit being a freshman because I love his game. I love his energy, but I think he might have to be a guy against Texas that, you know, if Thero can't go, you're going to look who's going to get those minutes.
Man, to lose Adu, if that is
he's
the
our
case,
best all-around
for
player.
however
I
much
think so.
time. Like now's the you can't lose your best all-around player, even for a game, I would think. That's too bad for me because you think about if it's a back or it's a hip or a sciatic, that's the kind of thing that can linger for a bit. It's nothing that usually just starts to feel better quickly.
He plays that Dwayne Wade style of ball, if you remember him at Marquette. And that's the thing with Thero is, man, he's the flash. You know, he jumps up and he hits the hardwood hard. He's a violent, physical type player. So he's always carrying some type of, nick or knock.
There have been a few times where I wondered when he hits the floor or where, I forget what team it was, there was a guy that undercut him and it looked like they were playing Twister.
He
right
even
there in
fell
the lane.
athletic, right? Because like that could have been worse, but he fell and landed on all the soft spots.
Yeah, you need this team. I mean, any team would need a do, but you got to have your best player if you're trying to make a push and you're firmly on the bubble right now. You got to have him. And as far as Wood's concerned, I would even. We'll wait on the result of the MRI. I know that he's got this happening today, but for right now, you got to think that you're not going to be seeing him pitch at least for a couple of weeks, at the very least, a couple of weeks. If it's enough to take him off the mound in the middle of a game where he looked outstanding, if it's just inflammation, it'll take time for that inflammation to go down. Then he's got to be able to throw on flat ground again, get back on the mound. It may be a while. Even if this MRI comes out clean, it may be a while for Gage Wood to get back on the pitcher's mound. We get into our third hour here, 877-377-6963. There'll be a lot to get to, including a preview of the Northwest Arkansas home show at the Rogers Convention Center coming up and college football with Connor O'Gara, plus your calls and texts. Stay with Halftime into hour number 3 right after this.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds. Our high temperatures this afternoon into the lower 60s. Clear skies overnight, dropping down upper 30s to near 40. Tuesday, right back to sun, a high upper 60s to near 70, and we could see a few showers on Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. To ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Dumps it underneath. Golden shot blocked by Brazil.
Oof. Woof. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com. Good one tonight. You got to take it here. That's the perspective. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah. Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they but one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
One minute after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Welcome back in. It's halftime. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I am Phil Elson with my partner, Matt Jones, and Christian Johnston in the producer's chair. We'll be getting his review on Harold and Kumar go to White Castle in just a little bit. Wasn't there a sequel to the White Castle movie?
Never saw it, but I'm sure they probably did one.
Yeah, you can't take a good idea and just leave it with one good idea. It's always got to come with a second bad idea.
Because
right
he
after
takes off, his crush in the movie is going off for 2 weeks to Europe, and so that they kind of end the movie with, hey, we got to go, we got to go over there and meet her.
Maybe they go into Sweden. Harold and Kumar go to IKEA. Figure out some ways to build some furniture for you. We got Cecil with us on hold here. Let's talk with one of our more dedicated listeners and callers. Cecil, what's going on? How was your weekend?
Oh, great. Definitely dedicated, Phil. I went to the game Saturday. It was a great atmosphere, man. It was pretty packed in there. We played good basketball. I hope Thero's okay. I saw when he limped out of there. He's a very, very physical player. When I first actually watched him, probably the second time I watched him, I said, just what Matt said. I said, yeah, he plays like a Dwayne Wade, and he's very physical, very physical. I love the way he plays. He will dunk the ball unexpectedly. You think he'll lay it up and he'll just slam it. And I'll say this because I know I'm just about right on this. If we had Auburn at home, that game that we lost, we would have won because we would have been shooting free throws at home. And I'm sure our big man would have scored something. I don't think the ball would have just rimmed in and rimmed out on Big C because Big C, a lot of them balls he dropped, it went in and popped out. So we're gonna do good. I think we're gonna do really good in the tournament. And honestly, I think we'll win out these next games we play. I think we're on a better level than we were, and let's go home. I'll probably be up there Wednesday, too. I love my Razorbacks, man. Love them to death, man.
You go to as many games as you can. Yeah, I know. He's at as many games as he can possibly go to.
I go to a lot of games, Phil. I do a lot of them.
We went out, though. The thing is, you could be an 8-9 seed. I almost rather be an 11 seed than be an 8-9 because that second game's against the number 1 seed. I mean, you're going to have to play good opponents, but yeah, I mean, if they got consistent and won out, I could see them easily being an 8 or 9 seed.
Okay, go on. Let's do it. Let's do it, Matt. Hey, let's do it, Matt Jones. Take it to the house. In the dunk. Boy, I get a rush on that every time I hear that, man. That is a hell of a phrase, man. I love it, man. Okay, guys, I'm going to hang up. Y'all be good, man.
Okay.
Have a blessed day. All right.
Good to hear from you, Cecil. We always know he's listening here on ESPN Arkansas. Go back to the phones. Kat Anderson is the executive officer of the Northwest Arkansas Home Builders Association. Their annual home show is kicking off Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning at the Rogers Convention Center. It goes 10 to 5 daily, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Kat, we always appreciate the Home Builders Association. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. So the lead up to this event, tell us what we can expect this weekend at the Rogers Convention Center.
Yeah, well, for starters, we're going to have great weather. So I know everyone's really excited about that. The home show is at the Rogers Convention Center. It's this weekend, Friday, February 28th to March 2nd. Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sunday, 12 to 5. It's sponsored by Window World, so I definitely want to give them a shout out for being our title sponsor for this event. And if you are looking to build, redesign, or update your home, or just get inspired for a home project, this event is for you. We have over 150 exhibitors attending the home show this year and exhibiting, and they offer a range of services, whether you're looking to get a room painted, get your roof repaired, put in a fence in your yard, put a pool in, buy a hot tub, have the front landscape. If you want to redo your kitchen and bath, or you just need someone to look at your foundation or your plumbing or your electrical, there is something for everyone at the NWA Home Show. It's also a very family-friendly event. Kids 12 and under are free, seniors are free, military members are free, and we're going to have scavenger hunts We're doing hourly giveaways, and then we have a mega prize punch list where if you go visit specific exhibitors, get your pass punched and turn it in, you're entered to win one of our big prizes.
Very good. So this is for anybody that has any kind of idea of a project you'd like to do in the house, or for home builders, or just for overall contractors, right? This isn't just for people that are working in construction or are home builders. It's for anybody that might be a homeowner and wants to renovate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is for anyone who is a homeowner, or even if you're a renter and you have a DIY rental project that's renter friendly, we have some stuff for that. If your closet is a little too messy and you just don't want to have to go through how to organize it, or even your kitchen pantry, we have professional organizers. So there genuinely is something for everybody. This isn't just a professional builder. We do have suppliers who are bringing in new products and latest and greatest for your countertops or for your exterior, things like that. So professionals are welcome to come as well, but it is genuinely for anyone interested in doing anything in their home, even if you're just looking for inspiration or you just want to get out of the house.
Yeah, I think after last week, some people just might want to get out of the house and see what things they can do with their house, because they're kind of sick of looking at it after all the snow came in. What's the website? What will it cost to get in for the home show? And is it general admission for each day, or is it for the whole weekend?
Great question. So it is $5 unless you're in one of those free tiers that I talked about earlier, but it's a flat $5 and the re-entry is free. So if you talk to a roofer, for example, on Friday and you just can't make the decision and you want to come back on Sunday and talk to him again, you can just come back. If you want to pre-purchase your tickets, you'll be entered into a giveaway for an Airbnb stay at a new shipping container home in Bella Vista. And that comes with a couple free e-bike rentals as well to check out the trails in that area. Go to nwahba.com and you can pre-purchase your tickets there. It's also how you can skip the line when you come as well.
So I think this is the first time we've had you on, Kat. We've been to the home show a few times before. What brought you into Northwest Arkansas Home Builders Association, and how are you enjoying the gig so far?
Yeah, this is my first time. I love it. I'm a Northwest Arkansas native. I did live in Arizona for a while, moved away and came back because there's no place like home. And I have worked in the construction industry in some form or fashion for almost a decade of my career. And being part of the Home Builders Association, helping build up NWA and helping guide how we can build right and build better is a huge passion of mine. So I've been with the Home Builders Association for almost a year now, and I've been in this executive officer position for going on 8 months or so. And I love it.
That's great. Must be great to be back home. Big Razorback fan too?
Oh, yeah. I actually saw Matt Jones play quite a lot when I was growing up.
That's great.
Woo!
That's right. That's good
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. 147 exhibitors will be on hand at the 2025 Northwest Arkansas Home Show. That's this Friday through Sunday. Hours are 10 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. That's each of the 3 days. You can go online to nwahba.com, and you can register for $5 general admission there. Kat, hope it goes well. I'm sure it will, and we appreciate you coming on to talk about the Home Builders, the Home Show today.
Of course. I appreciate you having me.
You got it. Kat Anderson with us here on Halftime. Hey, before the break, and we have Connor O'Gara coming up, let's talk with Jim, who's called us out of Springdale. Jim, thanks for calling Halftime. How are you?
Hey, good. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. Just kind of quickly, at the start of the last hour, you were talking about Razorback, baseball, pinch hitters, hitting the clutch, the Eloy kid, and Charlie Welch. There was a player right before that who I'm a little biased because he was my son. His name was Tom Houski, and he gave me some interesting insights on that role of being a pinch hitter because he wasn't an everyday player. He played at the same time as Cisterna and James McCann, frankly. So he was a catcher behind those guys. But he developed into a pinch hitter and a DH, and he gave me some interesting insights about how Todd Butler, the hitting coach, how he helped pinch hitters focus. And you mentioned it, I think, Phil, when you said hitting the first pitch, because I think the Eloy kid hit the first pitch. I think both the bats he was at.
Mm-hmm.
And what Tom told me was they train these pinch hitters, and he was well trained on. He had 3 walk-off game-winning hits in his Razorback career, hit multiple home runs as a pinch hitter, and really had some big highlights. He actually was 1-for-1 in the World Series. He went to the 2010 World Series, the Brett Eibner, Virginia game where they won but then lost against LSU. But anyway, he said most pitchers and other teams, especially don't know a hitter like Tom, who wasn't a regular player, try to groove the first strike. They think that these pinch hitters, because they're not on the lineup, they're not regulars, aren't ready for it, and they're going to want to wait on a pitch or two. Like you were saying, you want to kind of get warm first. He trained himself, his mind, and the other pinch hitters by Todd Butler to swing at that first pitch. Like it's 90% of the time, it's going to be a grooved fastball strike. And I'd say about 85% of his hits as a pinch hitter were on the very first pitch, including he hit a home run against Ole Miss that tied a game in the 9th inning once.
It's the absolute
so
truth, Jim.
fit.
Jim, if you think about it, like you want to work a count early in a game, that's understandable. You want to try to get an opposing pitcher's pitch count up, get the starter out of the game, all understandable. Nobody's worried about getting a pitcher's pitch count up when a pinch hitter is coming on with guys in scoring position, and it's more about knocking those guys in than getting the guy's pitch count up or trying to get into the bullpen. By that point, you're in the bullpen. So it's about getting a good pitch to hit, not working the count. And if that first pitch is a great pitch to hit, go get it. Because you're not up there. It's like the joke is they don't call it pinch walking or pinch taking. It's pinch hitting. You're up there to swing, and you got to have a mindset, and I think Cahillo does.
And I know you have to get to a break, but what also the best pinch hitters and DHs did, and Tom was great at this, he had a great mind for the game, not a pro. He wasn't going to be a pro player like James McCann or anything, but he would watch these pitchers all game. He would watch and study them, and even the late inning pitchers. He was really good at studying them and talking in the dugout. These guys talk in the dugout constantly about what the pitcher's doing, what he's going to throw first, what's second, what to look for, how he moves, what he gives away in his fastball or doesn't. So he's a great studier of pitchers too, and these pinch hitters and DHs have the advantage as opposed to being out in the field. They can watch these pitchers and read them and be ready for them in the late innings. So I thought that was an interesting dynamic that I'm sure Welch did and maybe this young Eloy kid is doing, and the best ones do for when they're pinch hitters or DHs.
That's right. Jim, a good call. I appreciate you calling. Thanks very much. That's fun stuff. You know, and for Cahillo, it'd be a different thing than if he's batting in the first inning than if he's a pinch hitter in the 7th inning like he was the other day. You got basketball at Bud Walton Wednesday night. You want to get over to Bud Walton if you can't make it there. Get over to Twin Peaks and Rogers. They will have the game on television. They'll have sports blasting from every single angle. They'll have 29-degree draft beer flowing all game long. They'll have made-from-scratch fan favorites, and they'll have rare bourbons all month long, an exclusive and extensive collection of some incredibly rare bourbons, whiskeys, and tequilas, plus barrel selects that are handpicked by their team and bottled just for you at Twin Peaks in Rogers. You can go to twinpeaksrestaurant.com or just give them a visit in Rogers. We're a break, and we're talking college football with Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South in just a moment.
The truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is halftime.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got puppies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
Your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South C Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Ty Richardson, we're live here at First Financial Mortgage. I'm here with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan, I know I probably texted you 100 times during this process, man. I didn't know what I was doing. Luckily, you did.
Yeah, Ty. It was always great working with you. Glad we could help you get closed. A good loan officer is someone who can answer questions after hours, before hours, and be available when you're needed. We get pre-qualifications in, get buyers pre-qualified so they can search for homes and get them closed quick. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Come on in, cat, devil love a cat. Come on in, cat, devil love a cat. Kiss me, mama, kiss your boy, bless me, well and lucky. Back till I return, gone to Kentucky. Come a little cat, devil love a cat. That's what scouts all tell you. Sure enough, make it tough. If it doesn't kill ya. Kentucky, she's waiting on the other side.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Headed to the phones, Connor O'Gara joining us, national senior columnist, Saturday Down South. And we always appreciate a visit from you, Connor. What's going on today?
Not a whole lot, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Yeah, it's going good. I just saw this, Connor. I guess the combine's getting ready to go. How much attention do you pay to the combine, and who are some of the players? I guess, like if you think of a Scattaboo, like what position do you think players can really help themselves out at the combine?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to a certain extent. I think for those who have showed out at the college levels, like an Ashton Genty, who is not going to be doing any of the physical drills at the combine, I don't really, take much stock into that. If you've had a great college career wherein you've actually shown that you can play football at a high level and people are projecting you as a high level pick, then why would you do something that probably is only going to hurt you? I think it's more interesting for some of those explosive guys, the edge rushers, the guys that you really want to be able to see. All right, what does their 10-yard split look like? Do they have the explosion to be able to do the vertical, or their measurements? Are they tracking what their school said that they were? I think for guys like that, it's a little bit more interesting. I'll be interested to see how many of these quarterbacks are actually going to want to throw. I think there's a prime opportunity if a bunch of these guys don't want to end up throwing. Riley Leonard is someone that even as he was finishing his college career, a lot of people were going, well, I like what he is as a runner, but I still don't feel great about who he developed into as a passer. So he's somebody that's going to have a lot of eyeballs on him. And then Jalen Milroe is going to try and overcome what was kind of a shaky start to the Senior Bowl. So there'll be a lot of storylines, despite the fact that I think the combine is diminishing in significance because we just have more access to these guys than ever to be able to watch them actually play football during the regular season.
And it's also the way that people watch some of these games too, Connor. It's like I've lost track of how many, people are breaking down film on social media and like actually viewing the sport through a much different lens than even I do as someone that's covering it on the radio side. So, you're going to trust what you see in a game no matter what, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I still default to that more often than not. And honestly, I'm in a different spot because obviously I watch college football way more than I watch the NFL. And if I'm sitting there as an NFL GM, I want to talk about what traits are, transferable and stuff like that. But Cam Skattebo is the perfect example of a guy that, look, I don't care if that guy runs a 4.8 40. I don't really care about that. What I saw him do to inspire that Arizona State team and nearly lead them to a playoff semifinal berth was nothing short of remarkable. And I'm going to judge that guy based on what I think he can do and not how he looks, in shorts and competition, from an individual standpoint. I think that there are still going to be a lot of those guys who, even if they don't test particularly well, I think teams will still look at what they've done and say, hey, the film stands out to me, and we're not necessarily going to get caught up whether or not you placed as well in the 40 time or in the 3 cone as we had hoped.
Yeah, Cam Skattebo seems like a San Francisco 49er to me. I mean, you start looking at team or a Harbaugh at Baltimore. Yeah, you definitely want him. I mean, I like his game. Hey, as far as an Arkansas receiver, Andrew Armstrong, he set it on fire this year. I think, Phil, was it the best statistically season for a receiver, I don't know, in 20 years or so. What are you hearing about him, his stock? How important is it for him to run, a decent time?
I think it is important. And I think it's, probably going to be more important for those mid-round projected type guys. But he was so good with the contested catches. And I think people kind of lost, perspective of the type of year that he had. And some of that is because, all right, if you're not competing for a playoff berth in this day and age, you're not necessarily getting the big national broadcast and whatnot. But, I thought it was a bit of a joke with the end of season awards with him. And I don't know how much that matters with NFL draft stock and if he's going to show up to the combine being one of these chip on the shoulder type of guys. But you led the SEC in receiving. You were doing something right. And I know, all right, you only had 1 receiving touchdown. It's unbelievable that guy wasn't getting into the end zone more. What does that mean? Teams will be able to pick that apart, and I fully understand that. But this guy who led the SEC in receiving, despite the fact that he played 11 games, despite the fact that the passing offense was very much up and down, I thought, through different points of the season. So, yeah, he's one of those guys that if you want to be able to show people at the next level, hey, I am just as good as what my production said I was. There's a reason why I was able to go up and make big-time plays. Yeah, he needs to obviously have a really solid combine in a receiver class that doesn't have those top-end guys. So maybe that opportunity is there for someone like Armstrong.
Well, we got a playoff committee meeting, not a committee meeting, but the partners are meeting. I think it's tomorrow or the day after. What is expected at this meeting? Is this a matter of just kind of tweaking the next playoff? It has nothing to do with after next year, or does it have more to do with what the playoff may look like after this next season?
I think all those are going to be on the table, and I think the big thing that the Big Ten and SEC have brought to the forefront with their meetings that they had in New Orleans was the need to change the seeding process. and to not necessarily have the 4 highest ranked conference champs be the teams that get these first round buys. I think they would like to just see the tournament or the field seeded 1 through 12 in accordance to what your resume says you are. And I do think there's a lot of merit to that. I think you could look at Arizona State and Boise State, 2 programs that had unbelievable years and deserved to absolutely play for a national championship. I think you could still look at what they did and say, all right, did we really think that the teams that lost in the Big Ten and SEC championships deserved to be punished as a result of that? And even though they ended up having, I thought Penn State had a better regular season than Arizona State. I thought Texas, same thing. And I didn't necessarily think that felt particularly fair. And I think that's what the Big Ten and SEC are arguing. And I get why other conferences are going to want to continue to push back on that. And Notre Dame is the one that, ironically enough, could stand to benefit from all of it if all of a sudden conference champs are not going to necessarily have that reward of the 4 highest ranked conference champs getting by. So who knows what's going to unfold. It feels like there are just so many moving pieces. It just change feels like it is imminent still with the college football playoff.
I know the SEC and Big Ten had meetings last week, and I think all they did was agree to keep talking. It was more than anything. I don't think there were any hard decisions made, but I'm also reading where there may be a little bit more, I don't know if momentum is the right word, but that there are more open ears in the SEC to potentially adding a 9th league game. I understand that they're going to view that at the same idea as more money from ESPN. So I know these two things have to go together, but are you hearing that there's a little bit more movement towards a 9th game in the SEC?
Yeah, I think so. And to be clear, the SEC has always based its conference schedule in accordance to the playoff and the postseason. Yeah. And so that is that is going to always be the primary focus. Now, what I think we tend to forget, and I'm guilty of this as well, is that it's not just that. The 2 things that we're always going to have to line up for the SEC to move from an 8-game conference schedule to a 9-game conference schedule is that it was going to have to be acknowledged by whatever playoff process was in place. And Greg Sankey has talked about that. If you've seen some of the reporting, I believe Ross Ellinger reported on how Sankey wanted to, speak with the selection committee and ask, how is that going to be valued if we go from this 8-game conference schedule to a 9-game conference schedule with all these different metrics, including the ones by Bill Connolly, the SP Plus that is saying, hey, SEC strength of schedule is still legit, even in a down year for the SEC. Is that going to be rewarded? And then the other piece of this, are these schools going to get more money? Because there are a lot of schools, Arkansas being one of them, who would like to be compensated for this and would like to have a little bit more money in the pocket to know that, all right, you're putting yourself in a much more vulnerable spot, and you could be missing out on a bowl game a bowl game check if you're going to move forward with the 9-game conference schedule, and are you going to be rewarded for that? So I think those are the 2 things to remember, and I do think that we will get to that place, but it just might have to wait until the playoff officially changes in 2026.
Last thing, and I'd seen, Nebraska, USC, Texas aren't playing spring games this next spring. We haven't heard anything about Arkansas, but it seems there's a movement towards doing away with spring games, not spring practice, but generally maybe a little bit more in terms of like an OTA. And Matt's talked about how the spring game is really just for fans. The practices are the thing that matters most. If people aren't necessarily lining up to go watch the spring game and fill the stadiums like they might have 20, 25 years ago, why save these things? What's the important aspect of them?
I think it's a case-by-case basis. I think there are still benefits to having spring games. Okay, so I fully understand where all these coaches are coming from. Mizzou announced today they're not going to be having a spring game for the next 2 years, and I get it. If the optics aren't particularly good, well, why have it? Why do you want a TV crew in there, in a half-empty stadium? Maybe if you're of the belief that Matt Rule is that teams are going to watch this spring game and then poach your players in the post-spring window, if you're of that belief, all right, fine, I get it. But we've seen spring games have positives to it. If you can fill a stadium and all of a sudden you look like the it team a la Colorado 2 years ago, or what if you have the branding opportunity that a program like Ole Miss had last year? Like a Joey Chestnut in there. You've got A.J. Brown, who's evaluating a slam dunk contest, and you get to show to the world we're a fun program, and this is why you should come here. I do think there are benefits to that, and also the developmental benefits. If you're having a quarterback battle, it's still kind of important to see what it looks like. How do you play when there's actually fans in attendance, when we're playing in a stadium instead of on our practice field? I think there are benefits from that standpoint as well, that I just don't think we should sweep with too broad of a brush when it comes to canceling these spring games. I'd be fine with changing over to an NFL OTAs type of calendar, but I don't think we necessarily need to assume that just because these specific schools canceled spring games that everybody needs to do away with them.
Hey, I was looking a little bit at some of the other quarterbacks, Connor, and it seems like Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders are 1 and 2. Who else would round out your top 5? Is that Kyle McCord kid at Syracuse? Do you like him? You like the kid at Memphis? Who else do you have other than Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders?
I'd probably have Jackson Dart at 3. And I'd say that even though I think there's still a little bit more with him that I'd want. And if you want to really get super nerdy with this, you could provide more expertise on this than I could. If you want to look at like percentage of play action snaps that he had in college compared to what the NFL typically likes to operate out of, that's going to be a thing that I'd kind of question with his, NFL draft prospects. But yeah, I mean, I think you could look at McCord and somebody that is a little bit all over the place game to game and still find the upside there and go, all right, that guy, even if you're taking him in the second or third round, you feel like he could have a long NFL career. But it's going to be fascinating because I do think Riley Leonard is going to be a guy that continues to rise. People are going to like him more and more. And I'm not saying that anybody's going to draft him to be a starter or anything like that. But for whatever reason, that guy just kind of inspires people. And he was doing that, during his time at Duke as well, and leading them to new heights when Mike Elko was running that program. So, yeah, I would probably say that that's kind of the 3 that I would look at. And I would leave Jalen Milroe out of that group. I would not be going after a guy that has just continuously struggled with those accuracy issues. Maybe he's going to have himself a better combine and kind of shut up some of the skepticism that people like me have brought to the table. But I would say that those are probably going to be your 5 for the 5 that come off the board in the NFL draft.
I think Milroe, there's no shame in going to the CFL and making 7 figures to be a quarterback. I think that would be his best bet. I see him more like a Taysom Hill, the kid from full-grown man from the New Orleans Saints. I just do not see Milroe being a quarterback at that level. More of, hey, can you be the H-back on punt coverage? Does he want to do things like that?
He doesn't. And look, it wasn't that long ago that people were saying at the Senior Bowl, Jalen Hurts was being asked about, would you consider a position switch? And Jalen Milroe is facing that same sort of skepticism. And make of that what you will. But until he continues to show that he can be that guy week in, week out, I think that there are going to be people wondering what his future is. And it'll be one of those guys that is very fair, in my opinion, to pick apart, especially if there are still some saying that he's a first-round guy.
Connor, thanks for coming on. Always appreciate your visits on these Mondays. Couple weeks, okay?
Gentlemen, appreciate it.
Thanks, Connor.
Connor O'Gara, Saturday Down South, with us every other Monday on Halftime. Brought to you by the Stadium Shop right next to Baum Walker on Razorback. It is the start of baseball season. It is the tail end of basketball season. You got to have everything you need to be a Razorback fan at the Stadium Shop. Got all you need for the Hog Pen, got all you need for Bud Walton Arena, and to be outside as well, because it doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Call them at 479-STADIUM. You can give them a visit at shoponrazorback.com, or make sure that they know that ESPN sent you there. And you can get with us on Halftime by calling 877-377-6963, and we are back for the home stretch after this.
You ain't heard nothing. Wait a minute, I tell you. You ain't heard nothing.
This is Halftime.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Back again here live at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford for ESPN 95.3. It's Ford Truck Month, and I'm staring at some of the most beautiful Ford F-150s I've ever seen in my entire life, folks. Pearly white, beautiful slate, charcoal gray, this nice, beautiful Razorback red. If you're into that, nice royal blue. They got tons and tons of Ford trucks for you here today. You can get up to $10,000 off, as well as the matching down payments of up to $1,500 here at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford. It's Ford Truck Month, but it's also the Pick Your Salesman Showdown event happening right now through the end of the month at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, just 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Folks, the best deals around are here today. If you want to take advantage of your tax return, come take advantage of this matching down payment deal they have right now, up to $1,500. Get yourself the best deal possible here, like you always do, at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford. Come see it.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest on Saturday, April 26th. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please visit our Facebook page for more information or call our office at 479-452-2260.
Hey everyone, Braden Webb here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. You may remember me from my days playing baseball for the Hogs. Now I'm hitting home runs for AAA Business Systems and enhancing the ways company do business in our area. If you want to partner with the best office technology provider in Northwest Arkansas, call me today at 479-442-4185. Let's win together, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They're open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
This journey to my life, it's been so hard. Wearing the heart of my sleeve. Words won't say the sounds that I can hear. 1,000 sunshine, I'm rain cloud. The truth is I believe and
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, so how many of the Harold and Kumar movies do you think we can get C. Kumar to see here. There's Escape from Guantanamo Bay. There's Go to White Castle. There's Harold and Kumar Go to Amsterdam. There's a very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas. Why don't we send him to Amsterdam, Matt? Maybe you and I can go with him.
Yeah, that's where the first one leaves off. You know, he's chasing his girl, or so to speak. She kind of looks like Michelle Branch. Remember the Michelle Branch at that time period? Because that was at 04 as far as...
Making my way downtown. That
there
song,
you go.
right?
There you go.
Mm-hmm. It's the only time we're allowed to sing. You're allowed to sing like for 2 seconds on this show. She does have a little bit of that look to her. You're right. So what'd you think of the movie?
The girl in there's, sorry, Phil, the girl in there is in a Heartbreak Kid as far as, you know, Freak Show's wife. And that's what I was telling him. If he hadn't seen Heartbreak Kid and that Michelle Mahogany girl that I was telling you about that's in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, she's in Heartbreak Kid. That might be something that's worth watching. It's kind of funny.
The part where
oh, go ahead. The first question I would have is, did you watch this movie, you know, with a straight mind? Were you 100% sort of just like all there? You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah, there were some hilarious parts in that movie that I was laughing my butt off when they were in the
Now,
in the
I'll
truck.
admit, I don't think I've seen the movie for maybe 19, 20 years. So there's really just one part that I remember about it. And it's Neil Patrick Harris standing through the moon roof of a
With the
car.
girls, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that part of it. That's the only part I remember.
That's why I'm paying for your burgers. I said it was a dumb move. I mean, obviously, that's what it's for.
This will obviously, it's an introduction into, can we call it if you've done 3 different movies of the same theme, that's a universe. That's like the MCU. This is a Harold and Kumar universe. You've been introduced to it, C-Unit, so
I will
congratulations.
gladly watch more of those.
Sounds to me like you've made a real fan of him. Next thing you got to do if you want to get into a universe is the Ernest universe. The Ernest Goes to Camp. Did Ernest ever die in the movies? I think he died in one of those movies once. That's the next one. That's the step down from Harold and Kumar. It's Jim Varney.
We can get some bromance movies. You seen I Love You, Man? That's kind of a bromance. That's a good one, a buddy comedy. You know, what do they have? Rom-coms? Is that that's more of like Katherine Heigl and and
your
Matthew,
boy Seth Rogen?
Matthew McConaughey. Well, Seth Rogen, right. There you go. See Seth Rogen and his homie. Yeah, he's in I Love You, Man. Or sorry, I think it's Jason Segel.
So as I look on the Wikipedia page about Harold and Kumar, I am told that this film is considered a part of it is a kind of genre that is referred to as a buddy stoner comedy. So you just got buddy comedies, but that could be like like Lethal Weapon. But then you add the stoner aspect to it. Now you got Harold and Kumar. Probably most of the movies, if not all of the movies that Seth Rogen and James Franco did together. Though I don't think they're hanging out anymore. I don't know many people that are going to be hanging out with Franco. And then of course it all started with, well, Cheech and Chong could have been the same thing, but Reefer Madness probably was the first buddy. No, I don't know if that was just it wasn't a comedy either. That was just made to freak people out and scare everybody. Yeah, Chris says if you watch I Love You, Man, then you get introduced to Rush, the band Rush as well.
Ready to get some Neil Peart all up in you? Slap at the bass. I slap at the bass.
A real high-pitched voice.
It works better with better speakers. Slap at the bass. Why do you sound like a leprechaun? Slap at the bass.
Do you know much about Rush the band? C Rush, C Music.
Tom
You
Sawyer.
do?
Tom
So
Sawyer.
that you know, at least he knows that.
That's about the only song I really know of them, though.
Geddy Lee is the lead singer of Rush. He is a well-known collector of baseball memorabilia. In fact, I think Geddy Lee gave the Negro Leagues Museum in Kansas City a giant collection of baseballs signed by Negro League stars. So, and I saw him sing I guess it would have been the Canadian anthem because he's from Canada and Rush is a Canadian band. I saw him sing the Canadian anthem at the 1994 All-Star Game in Baltimore. So that's my Rush experience.
When I first heard Tom Sawyer, I thought it was a female, and I'm sure a lot of other people did too. I mean,
Which is the movie where the guy? It's a rom-com buddy movie where the buddies all do like it's a band dedicated to Neil Diamond, and I think like your girl Amanda Peet may be in that movie too. So it'd be a great way to introduce you to both Amanda Peet and to Neil Diamond.
Like a dark gothic Neil Diamond. I mean, that's exactly what I'm going for. I think that's Forgetting Sarah Marshall with Russell Brand. They got that joke in there.
Was that one? Yeah, I can't remember exactly which movie it was. Maybe it was a Barry Manilow.
That's Mila Kunis
tribute
in that
group.
one.
That would be me.
Kristen Bell is in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Russell Brand. Yeah, it's a good one.
So I was watching Winning Time. Haven't watched an episode for a few days, but your boy Jason Segel from Forgetting Sarah Marshall, he plays Paul Westphal in the movie. So hold on a moment. I know that face. I know that face. Yeah, I was playing Paul Westphal. Didn't even know he knew basketball very much.
Saving Silverman.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen that. I know you kind of some of the guy from American Pie's in it, I believe, and your girl Amanda Peet, which she crushes it. But I don't know that I've seen that one.
They come into America. We can all do our Neil Diamond imitations in just a moment, right? After the break, we'll finish out with some Neil Diamond imitations, or maybe we won't. We'll just remind you to make sure that you're listening to our shows on any of our 4 affiliates in the great state of Arkansas or on the Hit That Line Now app. It works on your iPhone. It works on Google Android for Google Play. You can listen to all the shows. You can watch all the shows. You can listen to all the podcasts, and it's right there in the palm of your hand. And it's the Hit That Line Now app. It's brought to you by Taco Bell with the new Cravings Value Menu with 10 items to choose from, each priced $3 or less. We'll wrap the show up in just a moment on Halftime.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
This is Halftime.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Coming to you live here on ESPN 95.3, it's Colton Little at the Pick Your Salesman Showdown event happening now at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford. They've got matching down payments up to $1,500 and over $10,000 in discounts during this sale. And as always, folks, the salespeople at Harry Robinson, they're always taking care of their customers, especially right now during Ford Truck Month when they're offering up to $10,000 off new Ford F-150s as well as $10,000 off on new 2024 Ford Expeditions. So these guys are trying to make sure they get you out of the door with the very best deal possible. They're competing right now for a chance to win a free vacation, a 75-inch TV, or a nice tool set for them. So they're working really hard to make sure they get you out of the door with a really good deal. Come see them right now today at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, just off exit 308 off I-40 in Sallisaw. Bring your trade in. There's multiple appraisers here bidding for your vehicle. You always get the most for your trade at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you would go big time and switch to the expensive shampoo with amino acids. Sure, you don't know what those are or why you need them, but it sounds very impressive. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can massage it into your scalp every day. Now, if only you can get people to lean toward your head to smell those aminos. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. Shampoo? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. I'm with Ethan at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Ethan, what promotion do we have going on?
We're putting on a 5K challenge. If you sign up during the month of February and ride at least 5,000 or more miles by September 27th, you'll win a gift card and a t-shirt. Riders who accumulate at least 5,000 miles and complete 3 check-ins will earn a $75 Wheeler Power Sports gift card. Fuel up, sign up, and hit the road. See our Facebook page for full details.
Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witz Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witz Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
New deals on last-minute holiday finds just dropped at Lowe's. Save $600 on a Whirlpool fingerprint-resistant stainless steel side-by-side refrigerator. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members save $50 on an Allen & Roth Brighton pull-down kitchen faucet. Your choice of finishes for $79. Lowe's knows deals. Offers valid 12/12 through 12/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowes.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
Family. That's what sets us apart. Crabtree RV Center, founded in 1950 by E.J. and Aline Crabtree, family owned and operated, serving Arkansas for 74 years.
I've been working full-time here at Crabtree RV since 1996 after graduating from the University of Arkansas, where I'm proud to carry on my grandparents' legacy.
I know if Mom and Dad could see Crabtree RVs today, they would be so proud.
Crabtree RV Center in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Oh man, I never get tired of listening to that song, Matt. Well done. Thank you very much for playing some Beatles. You still remember who's in that band, right? Sea Beetle?
They'll probably say they'll probably say Sgt. Pepper's African Child. That's probably what they'll say.
You still know who's in the Beatles, right?
Yes.
Sea Beetle?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Well, I won't ask you who it is because I have a feeling you probably wouldn't get it right, and then we have to do that whole thing over again. Yeah. No need for that to happen at all. Thank you very much. Should be a Cal radio show tonight. They canceled last week because of snow, so I'm assuming we'll have it again today, 6 o'clock. And tomorrow we should hear from one of the coaches for the pregame presser for Wednesday's game. And
You
we
just
got a
want-
baseball game tomorrow.
You just want 3 to be shooting, right? Like, what would your question be? Is he not necessarily does he have to be a full participant in practice, but you want him, is he still shooting or is he all the way on the shelf?
Yeah. How and with Gage Wood, it's a matter if there's anything torn, he's done for the year. If it's a matter of some inflammation, then it's a matter of rest, and we can only hope for it being a matter of rest. But it's early enough in the season where if you're going to deal with an injury for one of your starting pitchers, now's the time. But as far as basketball is concerned, this is the worst time to have an injury. Boogie got hurt. What was that? It was about a month ago, right? Wasn't his thumb injury about a month ago? So you've been dealing with him for basically without him the entire month of February. But if you got to limit a dude's minutes now, this is the worst time to have an injury to one of your guys because you don't have a resume that you can rest your laurels on. This is not a resume right now that you're going to get into the tournament. You still need a couple of wins. It's like if you knew you were in and you could rest him, well, that's a different situation. You need to do right now.
And Billy Richmond, it's time. I love his game, but it's time to grow up a little bit. I think he's gonna get some more meaningful minutes. I feel like that's a guy that some of those minutes could trickle down to.
So, you talk to Billy Richmond and you come off the bench and you say, well, you know what? We need you to be energetic. We need you to be energetic
Electric.
first and foremost. But if he's getting more minutes and it's minutes in place of someone as important as Adu, yeah, you got to be energetic, but you also got to make sure that you check yourself a little bit, right? A little more cautious about things. Well, we'll find out more about that tomorrow, I'm assuming, or maybe tonight when Cal on the radio show, because I'm sure that'll be a topic of conversation. And yes,
I would say it was a fun show today. It was good to be kind of back to some type of little bit of normal because last Monday we didn't have a show, huh?
It was just nice to be it was just nice to be back and working once again and being home, actually really home. It was really good to be back doing that once again. Tomorrow will be at Baum Walker for the show because we got a 3 o'clock first pitch. Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast will be coming out shortly, including our conversations with Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South and with Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation, and our 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center. And we appreciate Eastside Liquor for sponsoring the Halftime Podcast going on 3 years now. Ruskin and Zach coming up in just a couple of minutes, and tomorrow's halftime will include Alyssa Orange, Pig Trail Nation, Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio. Otherwise, that's halftime for your Monday. Thanks for listening in. For Matt Jones and Christian Johnston, I'm Phil Elson. Get up, get out, and get better.